Sebastian Vettel starting on pole for a 51st time in Formula One. It's lights out and away we go. Vettel gets away very well. Hamilton tries to get past Nico Hülkenberg straight away, and it's Sebastian Vettel from Valtteri Bottas. Kimi Räikkönen on the inside, Ricciardo covering off Kevin Magnussen, and it's Vettel into turn 2 he goes from Valtteri Bottas, the Mercedes ahead of the Ferrari, and there's Kevin Magnussen making contact and having to run wide and almost chopping off the front wing of Esteban Ocon. As down towards the headwind we go now. Magnussen on the inside of Nico Hülkenberg. What a lap it's been for the Haas driver, trying to make places back up again. And that is Sergio Perez spinning around at the hairpin. We're on board now with Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton down in 9th place.
Hamilton busy breaker, changing his brake bars. We saw it on the steering wheel. What utter brilliant madness those first few corners were.
And the madness might just continue as well, as there's cars going off onto the runoff area. Romain Grosjean getting pushed wide. Down into turn 10 we go. And that's Max Verstappen on the inside of Brendan Hartley. Verstappen's making up places and already going very nicely indeed up into 12th place. And there, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton dueling, going into turn 1. Verstappen on the inside, they're going wheel to wheel. Fernando Alonso's going to watch out, and they make contact. Verstappen gets past and almost runs over the front wing of Lewis Hamilton as he moves himself up into 10th place. Who's got a puncture? Looks like Hamilton slowing a little bit. Verstappen's got a
puncture with that contact. Hamilton steams back past, so Verstappen getting punchy. Lewis wouldn't let him go, and it's Max with a left rear puncture and a long way to go until he gets to the pit lane.
Got that 2.5 miles to try and limp back, and that already the damage on the rear left tyre.
Oh, mate, Picsart.
Copy, Max, copy.
And it is absolute double disaster for Red Bull as Verstappen gets a puncture and limps past the stricken teammate Daniel Ricciardo, pulling over onto the left-hand side. We're on board with Verstappen now, Hamilton ahead of him, and he knows that there is a gap coming at the end of the main straight. Alonso rather squeezed them up a bit. That's where they clashed. That's where Verstappen ran over the front wing of Hamilton's Mercedes. That's where he got the puncture.
The problem is with that move is the McLaren was on, sort of grabbing the apex, wasn't it, in front of them to give him a bit of extra challenge there.
So, super soft tyres go on for Max Verstappen.
Oh, steering wheel's gone dead. Everything's gone dead, look. No power, no signal. It's like somebody switched the master switch off.
Hülkenberg, sorry Martin, on Esteban Ocon into the final corner as well. Hülkenberg swoops round the outside of Esteban Ocon. Nice move there from the German driver in the Renault. But now Ocon is wheel to wheel, and we'll see Mercedes power in the Force India against Renault power as well. And we'll see Renault power Alonso against Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton down the inside on Nico Hülkenberg. Ocon might lose out to Fernando Alonso. Hamilton makes up places ahead of Hülkenberg, ahead of Alonso, and then comes the Force India of Esteban Ocon. This move has not finished yet though. Alonso is having a go, and Nico Hülkenberg, brilliant moving, brilliant overtaking on the first few laps.
Very opportunistic there from Hamilton. Did he ever make that straight pay off for him? Absolutely brilliant. That is those sort of moves that can make or break your evening when you start the race out of position. Hamilton, on the grid,
as you can see, up to 6th. And that is Max Verstappen out of this race by the looks of it as well. Was there too much damage after he sustained that puncture? He has pulled over to the side of the racetrack, and that, Martin, could well be another virtual safety car.
Now look at this for a triple overtake.
This is fantastic. The McLaren behind Hamilton. You can just about see the track through the sparks. Down the inside he goes. Hamilton fancies a bit of Pierre Gasly. Breezes past Pierre Gasly along the straight there, and Hamilton, starting 9th on the grid, is now up into 4th place. Here goes Fernando Alonso and Charles Leclerc. That's an easy little scrap there for Alonso in his 292nd Grand Prix. Battling for Williams, but he hasn't got the straight line speed to defend going into the final corner.
And Alonso will get a lovely bit of DRS. Hülkenberg doesn't. And he's going to push Alonso past the Williams Mercedes. Well, flat out in 8th gear.
Eventually it will, but he's going to have to fight for it, to be fair. In a straight line, Sorokin was giving Fernando Alonso something to think about. Sebastian Vettel pits, Valtteri Bottas takes over at the front of the field. Let's see how the Ferrari crew go here, and they are responding. Are they? No, they're not. Is that the double bluff by Mercedes there as Vettel comes out? Did the Mercedes pit crew come out and say to Ferrari, oh, we're going to pit Valtteri Bottas, and then not pit Valtteri Bottas? Here's Valtteri Bottas, and as he pits, Lewis Hamilton is making his way down the main straight past our commentary box. Sebastian Vettel is going through the final corner, medium tyre for Valtteri Bottas. They can now go to the end of the race on those medium compound tyres, which Pirelli say are good enough for 40 laps. Vettel's just set the fastest lap of this race.
Plan B for him is plan A for Hamilton.
DRS for Sebastian Vettel. Hamilton manages to fend him off going into turn 11, but now goes a little bit wider. Vettel's got the inside line going up the hill towards turn 13. Hamilton still ahead of that Ferrari. Hamilton has been on these tyres since the first lap in this race. Sebastian Vettel came in on lap 18 to change onto his soft compound tyres. How long can Hamilton keep Vettel at bay? This is slowing Sebastian Vettel down all the time. He's stuck behind the Mercedes.
And he'll be party mode down the pit straight, whatever they like to call it, because the longer he can keep Vettel at bay, the better. It destroys Vettel's strategy. He's going to have to stop one more time than Hamilton. But look, he's in the slipstream. DRS, nothing Hamilton can do about that.
You can hear the cheers from the grandstands as Sebastian Vettel blasts past Lewis Hamilton and back into the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix.
He's going to come out of the pits and be a bit quicker than Vettel, but then Vettel will have to stop and probably put that charge on, given he's on a 2-stop versus the 1-stop. So plenty of action still left for you to talk about.
Oh yes, there's 30 laps to go here, and anyone can still take this race.
He'll be saving his battery power for the defence when he needs it most.
So Valtteri Bottas, who started off the season with a crash in qualifying and could only finish 8th in Australia, whatever happens from here on in, has bounced back very impressively indeed. Started 3rd on the grid, is within touching distance of getting past Sebastian Vettel. Vettel started the season with a race win. He is within touching distance of making it 2 wins out of 2.
So it's all about the exit of this corner and saving some battery from the straight.
And don't forget, Martin, Mercedes power against Ferrari power, they say they're pretty equal, but he's got DRS as Bottas, and you can see that he's gaining. You can see that he's getting closer. He's got the power turned up to 11. Into turn 1 they go. Bottas has a little look, but he's just a bit too far behind. Sebastian Vettel survives that one.
So if Bottas gets a clean exit, he can have another look into turn 4. He'll then get DRS. He should do down into turn 11. He should have got off the brakes, freewheeled that in, and ran Vettel wide.
So we're on the last lap under the lights here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel, in his 200th Grand Prix starts, is on the verge still of picking up that 49th win. Valtteri Bottas will get one more go with a bit of DRS assistance. Hold your breath, whether you're a fan of Bottas or a fan of Vettel as they go into turn 10 now. Any lock up here could be crucial. There was a puff of smoke, but not too much. DRS will open now for Valtteri Bottas, but is he just that little bit too far behind?
Hamilton's closing them down, but he's too late with it. And Bottas is also too late with the attack. He had his one moment, he was a long way. It would have been a brave move, might have ended up with contact, but Vettel, the wily old Vettel, has kept it where he needed to keep it.
Lap 18, he put those tyres on. He is nursing them home towards the end of 57 laps to emulate Michael Schumacher, Nico Rosberg, Jenson Button and Lewis Hamilton, who all won their 200th Grand Prix starts. And in his 200th Grand Prix starts, Sebastian Vettel wins the Bahrain Grand Prix for a second win in 2018. Out of 2 races, Valtteri Bottas comes home for second place. What a great effort, only 0.6 of a second down in the end. Hamilton finishes 3rd from 9th on the grid. Sebastian Vettel a 17-point lead over Lewis Hamilton. The fight for 5 at the moment, it's high fives for Sebastian Vettel, and the winner once again in 2018. And this season shaping up very nicely.
So strong enough.